Greetings from the Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Andhra Pradesh, and welcome to you all for the today's session on measurement of seasonal variations under Business Statistics course. Myself, Satish, lecturer in Commerce, SVSSC Government Degree College, Surgurpet, Andhra Pradesh. In this lecture, you will be able to understand the seasonal variations and measurement of seasonal variation under simple average method, ratio to trend method, and finally ratio to moving average method. Simple average method. It is the simplest of all method of measuring seasonality. This method, we assume that the trend component and cyclical components are absent. To obtain this seasonal index under this method, we have to follow the steps. First one, arrange the data by years and months or quarterly. Compute the average for all quarters. Compute the average of the averages for the quarterly series. And finally, seasonal indices for different months or quarters are obtained. But seeing the problem here, there are 5 years from 15 to 19. We have 20 quarters. It is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and 4 for each year. Like that we have 20 quarters. So from the based on the above data, we can find the seasonal index. So see here, that is year 5, 15, year 16, year 17, and 18 and 19. So first find the total of quarter Q1 and find the total of quarter 2 and find the total of quarter 3 and finally find the total of quarter 4. Then find the quarterly averages, that is 91 plus 90 plus 88 plus 81 plus 85 divided by 5. We obtain 89. Like this for all quota, we find out the average. After finding the average, and next step is to the compute the average of averages for the quarterly series. So whatever the averages you find it again the averages of this quarterly average. You will get to know averages of quarterly averages, that is 87.55. Now the seasonal index for the quarter 1 equal to, that is quarterly average divided by average of quarterly average. We will come to know this seasonal index 1 quarter 1, like the seasonal index of quarter 2, seasonal index of quarter 3, and seasonal index of quarter 4. Like that we can compute the seasonal index under this simple average method. Next, coming to the ratio to moving average method. The ratio to moving average method is also called as percentage of moving average method, and it is widely used method for the seasonal variations. So compute the centered moving average for quarterly data, the first step. Next step, express the original data as percentage of the centered moving average values. The seasonal indices are obtained by excluding the irregular or random components by averaging these percentages using arithmetic mean. So by seeing one problem, we can able to understand the calculation of seasonal indices under the ratio to moving average method. So we have 3 years, 2017, 18, 19. So 4 quarters, that is quarter the data obtained for the 3 years and for 12 quarters. And the first step is quarterly data and average the thing and take the average center and ratio, and we'll come to the 94.8. That is, the real number 55 divided by 58.5, we come to know that 94.02. And then the same thing, the data, whatever data we obtained, calculated ratio, we put it here. And then finally 2007, arrange the data into horizontal way. That is 2017, the index is 90. So the ratio is 94.02, 94.69, 2018 108, 104.89, 89.90, 98.11, that's 112.57, 94.37. And for quarter one, you total the total, and quarter two, total the two values, quarter three, total the three values, and 4 hours. And then average it about two quarters, you will find the number, that is 110.69, 99.63, 91.96, 96.40. The total value of all average is 398.68. Then you will find the correction pattern factor here. We have four quarters. For finding the correction factors, we need to divide 4 by 398.68. You will find the correction factors, that is 1.0033. So multiply these correction factor into average value, that is 110.69, into correction factor, then we will obtain the seasonal index, like that for all quarters. So quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. And finally, ratio to trend mirror. So it is near similar to ratio to moving average method. So the steps to be considered to identify the seasonal variance in time series. First one, obtain the trend values by the least square method by fitting a mathematical curve, either a straight line method or second degree polynomial method. The second step is express the original data as a percentage of the trend value, assuming that the percentage will contain the seasonal, cyclical, and regular components. The cyclical or irregular component eliminated by averaging the percentage for the different months or quarters if the data are in monthly quarters. Finally, these indices obtained in step 3 are adjusted to a total of 1200 for a monthly and 400 for a quarterly data by multiplying them throughout by a constant k. And the advantage of ratio to trend method, it is easy to compute and easy to understand. Compared to with the method of monthly average, this method is certainly a more logical procedure for measuring the seasonal variations. In this method, we obtain ratio to trend value for each period for available data. And disadvantage of this method is, the main disadvantage of ratio to trend method is that there are cyclical swings in that series. The trend, whether it's a straight line or any other curve, can never follow actual data as closely monthly moving average does. Hence, ratio to moving average method very less different than ratio to trend method. Thank you.